Hey, it's Water Safety Week, and today we are enjoying a beautiful pool here in West Michigan. Like so many of you will be getting out on these hot, warm days. You're going to be jumping in the pool, getting the whole family, the friends over to have a good time, or maybe you're going to a neighbor's like I did when I was a kid. But there's plenty of ways that you can make sure your family and friends are staying safe this summer, and we've got Bobby here to tell us a little bit more on that. Starting with just simple things that you should have before anyone gets in the pool, just to kind of make sure layers of safety for your kids.
So drowning is the leading cause of accidental death in kids 1 to 4, and it's the second leading cause of accidental death in kids 14 and under. And there's some pretty big reasons why that is, and we'll talk about some of them later. Drowning doesn't look like people think drowning looks like. And if you have a backyard pool, or if you visit a backyard pool, you need to make sure that it has lots of layers of safety. And what I mean by that is a term that was coined by the Lifesaver Pool Fence manufacturer company down in Florida. And it means the more things that we can put to slow down a child from getting into the water, the more likely we are to keep them out of the water. So things like this fence, is a great layer of protection, and a gate that locks so that the children can't just open the gate and come running into it. Things like pool alarms and locks on the doors coming out of the house, or alarms on the doors coming out of the house. So the more things that you can put in place to keep the kids out of the water. And then layers of protection also includes things like having rescue equipment in case that there is a problem, and knowing CPR, and knowing how to do rescue breaths, because drowning is a respiratory emergency and we need to get oxygen into the lungs so we can move it around to the brain. So hands-only CPR is not appropriate for drowning victims.
And we're going to show that in just a few minutes on how to do that. But are these, lessons and things that we should kind of be refreshing every year before we have families over?
Absolutely. Drowning knows no season, although most of our drownings happen this time of year. Most childhood drownings, 75% of them happen between May and August, and 60% of all drownings happen between May and August. So we're right in the middle of drowning season, and it's a great time to refresh everybody's memory on how to stay safe around the water.
Definitely. And real quick too, any flotation devices, or is there a certain amount of life jackets people should have at their pools?
So life jackets at pools are a great idea, but they're not a babysitter. And so we want to make sure that there's an adult close enough within arm's reach of the children, so if they do get into trouble, and we don't want to rely on a life jacket. If you do use a life jacket, it needs to be properly fitting, it needs to be buckled completely, and you need to have an adult close enough that if the child does get into trouble, that they can respond to that.
Definitely. All right, we're going to actually talk a little bit about the parents' role in making sure kids are enjoying the pool this summer, and a simple tool that you may not have at your pool that could really help make sure everyone stays safe.